How come you're in the harvester today?
Liam is, John's actually up at Liam's ploughing. They're wanting to get reseeding and stuff done, so.
Well, it's created a good opportunity because we've been videoing you a lot this year. We had ploughing, sowing, I think, slurry, rowing, it's a lot of silage and all, and we had to get chatting to you again since we stood you up against the harvester and talked a bit about the slurry.
Yep.
So good opportunity to get out with a lap here.
See my bad driving a
Aye,
harvester.
well, you know, that's well, whenever a man not used doing it every single time, there's actually no better way to put him under a bit of pressure. And then did you do all this mowing?
Aye, no, I wasn't actually here mowing. I was John and Sean done the mowing of this.
Oh, I was going to say, if there was any missed bits in the mowing, we could have blamed you as well.
Blame me this time.
Aye, this time you're faultless.
Faultless.
Like you said to us when we were out at the slurry, you'd like a bigger harvester than an 870, ideally.
Yep.
But you'd like to go and see an 880 working.
Yep.
And then you got a demo of a 970. And I think I near put your head away. That's the rumours now. I'm only telling you what the boys are saying. This is pub talk.
There's somebody telling you lies, Gareth.
You know the way you get pub talk, you know?
Yep.
I was told that nearly put that man's head away and he got into it. So the early 80 argument's out the window now. he wants a 9. And then I heard he started doing a bit of a tiptoey dance into another green puddle. And he went away from the big class. He said there was a change of colour coming in that last video. And what that is now translated to is you bought a big 4-rotor Crone rake.
Yep.
And another pub talk was that, you know...
Must go to the pub a lot.
Oh, but no, obviously you weren't in the pub whenever the boys were talking in the pub about you. But our pub talk was that you were sort of wondering, should you be considering, you know, looking at the likes of a Crone harvester, and she has a good machine. You had her on the Crone.
Yep.
But now I know you're a class man at heart.
We had the Crone out last year, and she's a good machine. Definitely, she's in the running.
You love class. You have to.
Yeah.
Everything's class.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, it's probably because it's doing well and it's working, and we do get great service for our ones.
Oh aye, for sure. Look, you know, it's kind of funny how you get the meeting and we get chatting, because I was chatting to your salesman in our yard the other day when we had the Torian out.
Yeah.
Which was ultimately coming to you after us. And then I rang you and said, well, this is coming to you, come on up and lift it.
Yep.
So you come up and watched us at our Antiques Roadshow.
Old school, huh?
And we got you in the PM and the Pottinger.
Yeah.
Which put a smile in your face.
That was a mess, huh? Aye, that was good to be. It's a long time since I drove a Pottinger now.
So, you're buck raking with 418.
Yeah.
JCB. I know you think that this harvester needs to be getting moved on now. You're thinking about it.
Yeah.
But what you're going to buy, by the sounds of you and the way your business is going, you're going to hit up the output.
Yeah.
So that's why you were keen to try the Torian.
Well, that's right. We don't know whether the route of one big shovel is the right way, or whether go with 2 machines in the pit. It's just 2 machines is a bit of a disaster for manpower, and no every pit can work with it, but it's still a great job, you know, for where you can work with it.
There are guys who's done it and made it work very successfully, and then...
We had done it a couple of times this year ourselves, sort of more or less to try it, you know, but
what did you think of the Torian?
I liked the Torian. I was actually shocked, to be honest. We
I know. So would we.
She was. I when I took her, I was getting her for nothing.
Was that just the wee engine made her feel lazy at that time?
I don't think the hydraulics was good on her, and the cab was pathetic. But they made a big change in 3-4 years.
Hey, they have. And I'll tell you what, they're almost up there with the power to weight ratio of your JCB.
Yeah.
So you would consider one?
I definitely would be, when the JCB's been changed now, definitely, I'll be pricing her anyway, like before I want to have been, but I will be now.
But no, your 870, is this 4 seasons or 5?
This is actually our 5th season, aye. Yep.
Now what did you run before that?
An 840.
So the 870 was a brave step up.
She was, but we run 850s before that.
Old type 850s?
Old type 850s, and we always bought, there was a man in Bangor changed his harvester every 3 years, and whenever they had them at 3-year-old, there was only something like 500 or 600 hours on them, and we bought 3 of his harvesters, and then we decided that we were wanting to. The problem with his harvesters was they were 2-wheel drive and they were Profi Stars. We were getting busier and we were going farther away from home, and we wanted a Speed Star and we wanted 4-wheel drive, so we went new, and probably because of the jump, we bought an 840. We probably didn't really want to buy an 840, but we bought the 840, and she was dead on. The wee harvester was fine, but we had a year, the last year, we only actually run her 2 seasons, and in the second season it was a season like this, wet, big crops of grass, and it just wasn't any good. And this harvester here was actually Klaus's demo, and we got her out, and that was it.
And has the business grown?
Aye, it has.
To justify the step to the bigger harvester again?
Probably we're not there to justify any bigger than this as such, or we probably the problem is we are doing more work now. I mean, you're on a year now again, like we did this year. We're possibly at the same stage with this harvester as we were with the 840. You know, I mean, we're not just there, but
when you're referring to this year first cut, this is lovely. The first cuts was cruel this year.
What really makes the 900 machine stand out for me was we had the 970 there once, and we were lifting really lumpy.
Oh, so the pub talk was right then.
They probably knew what they were doing whenever they came there, to be honest with you. We were lifting really wet, lumpy terra grass. I mean lumpy terra grass.
Yeah.
I was just going through her, you know. I think.
A knife through bottom.
I think if I'd have tried to lift it up with this, it would have been a long day, you know. There's pros and cons for the 900. I think that suspension feed roller system is great for the lumps, the oil, but I don't know. Lift a stone, maybe you might be luckier with an 800 and you're with a 900 as far as damage would go.
Well, I know, and you know him there too. I know Gavin McKnight, he runs the AA,
yeah,
and he thinks, you know, it does real well.
Yeah.
For him, but he's in that kind of dilemma too.
Right, okay.
Does he need to step up or not?
Okay.
And he's right, in a good year, you get away with it really well.
That maybe answers my question then.
You know, he just doesn't know.
Yeah.
But he thinks he possibly doesn't need any more than the 880.
You know, look, 80% of the time we probably don't need any more than this, you know. But you never want to, I don't know, you never want to buy worse than what you have, do you? Like,
no. Oh no, you never want to go back.
no. It's hard to know. We were to go and see an 880 going, but it just isn't fit it in, it just isn't tied in. See, they helped the power in them. We were actually to go and see Gavin's, or I was to sort of thought we'd go and see Gavin's and maybe even taking this up to run it alongside her just to see what the difference was. But then the salesman, he said that the new 880s is more power again than Gavin's, so sort of thought maybe better to go and see one of the newer type going.
Yeah, you would be, yeah.
You know,
or just buy the 970 and be done with it.
just buy the 970.
Well, this is new.
Yeah.
when's that? When did you lift this tractor?
Oh God, I think July, maybe it started July. I think it was meant to come. It was meant to be in April, but I think it was July we got her.
So she's a 650.
Yeah.
Why a 650? Well, what's wrong with 660? Because how you see them boys that were at that same pub?
Yeah.
They were telling me you had a 660 out. Young Dave Thornton from class was even fitting to tell me you had a 660 out.
Was he?
He was talking about the morning and he says you loved it.
Aye, well look, that was the same thing. We bought the rake, we needed another tractor to pull the rake.
Yes.
Started looking at second hands, couldn't find anything to please us. Started to look for demos and just couldn't feel really the money that we were getting for demos. And I never had any notion of buying a new tractor. I think what started the new tractor thing was John Armstrong. He landed one day in the yard of a deer and he started to give figures. I started to think about it. I thought to myself, why would I want to give 60, 70 grand for a tractor with 1,500 hours on it? So
buy a new one and a piece.
Buy the new one and maybe even take her out an extra year or whatever and pay herself.
But you have no varios as such or CVTs?
No, but that's what, whenever we were going, that's the whole thing. Like, we'd thought about the second hands and then we were going up into, again, I just thought the step was big enough. What we'd done, buying a new tractor straight at that sort of money, I thought I'd bitten off enough. But then we handed that tractor 3 weeks to Lance here one day and he says, do you want to try a demonstrator? And I says, no really, because we're only after buying a tractor and I'll only fry my head. So,
but you tried it anyway.
took it anyway, and I did fry my head.
Hey, I need to talk to these boys in the pub more often. They seem to know more of than you know.
So we got it out, we liked it. Sean was driving it. First day I asked him, what do you think of it? It's alright. He's a case man through and through. It's alright. Second or third day I says to him, what do you think of the 660, Sean? She would impress you.
Well,
I think that's the first time I ever heard him saying that a class would impress you, so she must have been doing something right.
Well, we like the 650 we had out, but I have been told that the 660 is a newer version of that gearbox again, and that's a lot better. So
it's a nice box, right? There were no mid-mount spools on her. For our umbilical system, we need all the spools that we had, and we could have done it on her, but I wasn't going to be neat. It was going to be a hash, and if she'd have had the proper mid-mount spools, to be honest with you, she would have been going by.
What? Oh, Mr. Dave from class wasn't so far wrong there. He did say you liked her. Now, when you say one that went back,
I'd have left the other 650 back.
Right. Now, Trailer Fleet seems to be a mix between Red Rock and Hearn.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of Canes and the boys that's hired in there the day, but we did tease you a wee bit more this year.
Yeah.
We sent you down the Smith to try.
Yeah.
How did you get on with the Smith?
I like the Smith. Again, show actually where you can take her to.
I think that's the one thing that everybody that tries her comes to the realisation.
Definitely show.
She's very manoeuvrable.
But she probably has a one-man trailer.
That's big.
Yep.
That's big and it needs a tractor.
Yep.
Now, that's not saying that the Puma's a better tractor, but it was to do with hitches.
Well,
I could have got myself into trouble
good
there.
job you clarified that.
Well, now that new Puma's tasty.
Oh, lovely
That
tractor.
new Puma's
Lovely
tasty.
tractor.
But when you had it out, it was on Well, Liam's.
Yep.
Is it Liam's or Liam's and Sean's? Or?
Aye, well, we'll let them fight about that.
Aye, they can fight about that. It's on the Devlin.
It's on the Devlin, right?
Yeah. Well, word it that way.
Yeah.
And they would do a lot. They would hire that tractor into you to do a good bit of work as and when needed. So they pulled it, and they seemed to like it.
Aye, Liam liked the trailer a lot. Now, he did. Great for far cars, you know, like what she held. That definitely was a great job.
Well, hey, here's a harvester running nice.
Aye, doing well, that harvester.
Like, do you really need a lot more than this, if you're honest?
No, that's the thing, Gareth. We don't. We probably don't. You know, but we did get a cycling this year as far as lumps and wet grass. Now, I know. You don't want every year like this year, but with a bigger rake now, I think maybe we should be looking at a slightly bigger machine. You know, this harvester has lifted everything. The rake is rake, you know, and there hasn't been a problem. But forward speed at the beginning of the first cut was definitely down. But
when did you last see first cuts as bad? I think we get out to see some of it.
Well, I would think it was the second year we had the 840, which that must be 5-6 years ago then.
Yeah, it would be.
I think, you know, if you look at every contractor, you know, they all push forward into, you know, the bigger machines, and I think that alone as a statement that we maybe don't need them, but we have to have them.
Yeah. You bought the Crone rake, which was a big step.
Yeah.
What are they called now? 1370?
1370. Ours is high.
Now, how are you finding it?
I like her. Yep.
She didn't get an easy start.
No, to be fair, look, that's probably was the wrong year to buy a 1370. You know, but that's what I say. The harvester has coped with it. And hopefully every year it'll not be like this. She does lay a lovely row. She cleans the ground. She's there, she's working.
Is she your only rake?
Aye, she is.
You don't run a 30 foot as well,
you know, I took a headstorm in the middle of the first cut that I thought I needed a 30 foot rake because the crops was that big, and I left at the phone one day and I rung Irwood's salesman. I was probably in a run. I rung Irwood's salesman and I says, "You a 30 foot rake there?" He says, "We had nothing." And he says, "Well, they won in 10 days time." I'd sort of cooled down to 10 days time. You know, if she'd have been there that day, I would say I would have had a 30 foot rake. But I'm sort of glad now that she wasn't there, to be honest. We do these things, but so that's why I'm thinking a wee bit the bigger harvester, and then that knocks the 30 foot rake thing out of the equation, really.
Well, then, what else are you doing this time of the year? So silaging, obviously.
Silage. Slurry is still pretty busy, that's right. Sometimes in this job you think what we're for doing tomorrow or what we're for doing next week. Already today I had 4 boys on looking for slurry next week if it's wet. So slurry has started to become nearly an all year round thing. So the ploughs have started there again. They're at reseeding work will start now.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But I said to you that day, and you laughed and you said, if he takes a bad price for her, I would near keep her. The plough, so you must have liked the Amazon plough.
What I liked bigly about the plough was we were ploughing for potatoes at the time. The Kivernans is a great plough, but, and I hope I'm not saying this out of turn.
Well, they're the market leader.
Their skimmers is a disaster.
Okay, yeah.
A complete disaster, and I'm sure they're well aware that they are, but in trashy conditions, it's got to be with a Kivernan. You can't even plough the skimmers on because it's a nightmare. The Amazon, whenever we were ploughing, and she had only rear discs on, which to me would have left her a wee bit at a disadvantage. But all I'll say is, Gareth, whenever I started to plough with her, John, he says to me, that run and along the last run there, it's just try her on there to see what she's like. And as all as I know, the 3 or 4 days that we had her, I played all the last runs. You know.
Well, Amazon as a company are top drawer. Like.
Yeah. The only thing, and it's the same story as we had. She was actually a Massey Ferguson plough, but she was an Rover umbrella.
Yeah.
And we liked her. Strength, reliability, she was a good plough. But when you went to change her second hand, nobody wanted her. And that's the thing about Kivernum. If I stuck any of my 2 Kivernums onto Dundee tonight, they'd probably be away by Monday morning.
Yeah.
You know.
But then it takes people brave enough to try them and get, you know, if you take on the likes of an Amazon plough, well, that, you know what that is ultimately at the end of the day. The price has to be right in the new product to justify buying it if it's new to a market.
That plough we had her out, Gareth, if the price had been right, the price, to be fair, probably was right. There's no any point. The boys did try hard now, and I would say the price was right. I wasn't, and the market to change the plough. You can't buy everything in one day. If I had been on for buying a plough, the plough probably when I went home, you know. I would be very game to try anything once. You know what I mean? As much as we are all class here, I would try anything once, you know.
Good crack. Hey, thank you.
No bother,
And we'll keep her lap. We'll keep me in mind maybe for one of them red rocks.
Aye, I will. Hey, if I'm genuinely for doing something, I'll let you know.
Maybe just a good old tidy trainer. I actually think red rock would take her in and tidy her up.
Probably, aye.
Because they can't make me one.
Right, okay.
Because I bought the wee new cane and the wee new.
Aye, it'll be
the
good to run along it, wouldn't it?
The trio would. In my eyes, it would be the trio.
Yeah.
But anyway.